What is operational transformation and what will it do for me? Sometimes buzzwords like operational transformation sound like big, complex, expensive projects, right? Instantly, you may be thinking, we don't need that because dollar signs are usually associated with complexity. But what is it exactly? On a high level, it's about fixing what's not working and making sure your business runs smarter and not harder. Let me give you an example. Maybe your processes feel outdated. Maybe teams are working in silos, and maybe there's just too much inefficiency slowing everything down. And just to add, by the way, I don't think you are literally walking around saying the word inefficiency. I think it shows up as everything takes forever. So, whatever it is, today we're going to dive into how to fix it. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what best practices drive real operational change. And no, it's not just about throwing technology at a problem. So, what exactly is operational transformation? First things first, it's not just a process improvement or a cost cutting exercise. It's actually about fundamentally changing how your business operates to be more efficient, agile, and scalable. Some indicators to look out for are too many manual, time consuming tasks or situations like having to call that one person who's the only one who knows how to do said task, or copying and pasting data from spreadsheets, or manually entering the same customer or vendor information in multiple systems. That's what I mean. So, having frequent miscommunications between teams, think maybe project scope changes or change it. Let's say you fabricate or manufacture a product where the measurements of a project change and your warehouse team finds out late or never to change what they're building, painting, or cutting. You may wind up with enough scrap or mutta, as it's sometimes referred to start questioning what's going on. Or maybe customers are experiencing delays or frustrations, and they share those frustrations with your customer service team. The response usually within the business is kind of reactive, and maybe that's by you or one of your supervisors, but it likely won't address what happened or how it happened. Maybe data is kind of scattered across a bunch of different systems, making decision making slow and pretty annoying. Here's the hard truth: most businesses try to transform, but very few get it right. Why? Because they make these mistakes, focusing on technology first and not process. The truth is, no matter what you do, new software won't fix a broken process. You have to streamline first. Next is a lack of leadership buy in. Leaders, if you aren't fully committed, this initiative won't stick. Your team is watching and emulating you whether you know it or not. Next is ignoring employee adoption or buy in. Change fails when people don't understand why something is happening or how it benefits them. And it's no longer acceptable to say, because I said so. You'll actually lose really good people with that kind of bullying mentality. We're all emotional beings, and so if your team doesn't think you understand them, they will find a place that does. Engage the people who will be doing and using the thing every day, not just your key stakeholders, so that they understand why you're going through this long, expensive exercise. Lastly, measuring the wrong metrics. If success is only tied to cost cutting, you've missed out on the bigger picture of positive corporate culture, maximizing efficiency, and a good customer experience, along with scalability. And I get it. Every single business needs to cut bloated overhead, but there's more to all of this than just cutting costs. Reducing costs will be a natural result if you follow the steps that I just mentioned. So now let's talk about what actually works. I'm going to give you some best practices that separate companies who successfully transform from those that get stuck. The first step is start with the end goal in mind. Don't just fix things for the sake of fixing or changing things. Define why behind the transformation. You'll also want to define what success looks like for you. This will be an important exercise to work through with your team. Map out your current processes first. Now, you knew this one was coming, but the truth is, you actually can't improve what you don't fully understand. And I know that I say this all the time, but you'd be surprised by the amount of information you don't know about, mental teams don't know about, and one another's work. So, process mapping helps identify those inefficiencies and bottlenecks. And it also helps one another understand the process after it leaves their hand. Without people knowing and sharing that information, this is where knowledge gaps, which are really information gaps, form. The third step is involve the right people. Transformation isn't just a leadership or a key stakeholder exercise or people who will just agree with you. Your frontline employees know where the real issues are, so involve them in the process and ask for their input. After all, they are the users. The fourth step is I want you to implement small wins. I've completed a lot of go lives, a lot of technology go lives, and a lot of process reengineering rollouts. Massive overhauls often fail. Make sure you understand the business processes will change and plan on training your team on those process and system changes before go live. And I recommend testing changes in a small area, measure the impact, scale what works, and revise what doesn't. The fifth step is leverage technology, but only where it makes sense. Things like AI, automation, analytics, they're all great, but only if they solve a real pain point. Don't implement things without doing the steps that I just mentioned. Okay, and lastly, track and adapt continuously. Operational transformation is never done. Sorry. Continued iterations are the key to managing change and saving yourself an unnecessary headache. Also, you'll need to set key performance indicators and review them regularly. Semi-annually, annually, whatever is appropriate for your business. Operational transformation isn't just a one-time project, it's a mindset. So focus on efficiency, align with them with your business goals, and if you engage the right people early in the process, you will see results.